Hey, Nickie Brown here. No matter where you are and what part of the world you're in, I hope that you're having a good day. Everything happens for a reason. I say that so often nowadays. Even if in the moment we don't understand why. Sometimes months, weeks, years later, the answer will come to us. And once upon a time, I was in position to be promoted. And due to the decision of the powers that be at that time, I was not chosen, right? Whether people choose to acknowledge it or not, there are a lot of people who are in positions of power who abuse their power because they're intimidated, jealous, envious, whatever that looks like. Because everybody's personality is different. And some people, can't handle certain personality types. Also, they may listen to someone else who is jealous, intimidated, or envious, and does not want for you what they want for themselves, because they're afraid if you get into this position, then you'll take their job, or that they'll be required to perform more, or whatever it is that goes on in people's minds that doesn't make logical sense to me, but I see it happen, right? And at the time, I was very disappointed, and there were a lot of people that said you would have been good in that position, and when so-and-so saw you shining in that position, because I was made a helper, right? But it is what it is. So, once I was shining in this helper role, right? It was kind of a surprise. Like, this person was taken aback as if they didn't know. Because the reason I was given for not being chosen is because I was nervous in my interview. A lot of people are nervous in interviews. That does not mean that they won't do well in the position. So I just felt like that was a lame reason for not being given this position. And I think I was told that my presentation was supposed to be 20 minutes, although I was never told that in advance, and it ended up being 12 minutes or something along those lines. But anyhow, that was about 2 or 3 years ago, probably about 3 years ago now, at least 3 years ago, right? And so someone just called me and said, oh, I know you were trying to get in with this company before, a similar industry, the same industry. And so I was just looking out for you. And I'm like, I really appreciate that, but I'm, not going to be pursuing work within that industry. And once I got off the phone with the person, I was thankful for thinking of me and thankful for, the opportunity. But once I got off the phone with the person, it immediately came to me like, That's why you weren't chosen for that position. Because if you had been chosen for that position, you would probably still be there. And it wasn't meant for you to still be there. And so that is what I have to offer to you. Again, a lot of times in the moment, we take it as a loss. When on the other side of it, it's really a gain. You sometimes gain your dignity, your self-respect, your self-love. And this is not ego, right? So we're setting ego aside. This is spiritual. This is a spiritual lesson. For someone else, it may have been ego, because again, a lot of people abuse their power when they get in these positions. And they have a right to. People have a right to do whatever they want to do, right? And we have a right to respond in the way that we see fit. So, it wasn't meant for me to have that position, because again, it would have been a lucrative position, and 9 times out of 10 I would have stayed, because I actually enjoyed working in this particular industry. I found it to be very easy, but at the same time I did learn a lot of new things, and I was appreciative of that. I was appreciative of the connections that I made. I was appreciative of the diversity and the opportunity to increase my language skills, my other language skills, right? So I really enjoyed it. And again, I would probably still be there. But I feel like the Most High took me out of that position because, again, I was not meant to be there. I felt like I wanted to be there and I could get comfortable there, but it wasn't meant for me to be there. And if I had stayed there, I would not have challenged myself to be tenacious. Again, I would have just settled and continued to remain in that industry because the pay was decent and then because it was easy. Sometimes we're not meant to do easy. You know, that's not what we're all here for, just to have it easy. So I'm thankful, again, that that phone call was made. And I've gotten other revelations over the years to let me know that it wasn't meant for me to stay there. But this is full circle, like it's 2024. And so that was like an aha, awakening moment for me. And I'm thankful and grateful for that. And again, a lot of times we're in a situation, we stress about it. You know, we may cry, we may be angry. You know, we go through all the different emotions because it's like, oh, this thing was taken away, or this is a loss, or what am I going to do now? But when we look back at those situations, it gets greater later. So, you know, as always, I love y'all. And, you know, stay focused, stay motivated, because it gets greater later. Mwah.